Assalamu alaikum. I hope that this video finds you well. Today I would like to talk to you a little bit about what homework is and what practice looks like in kindergarten. Now, homework is a tool meant to reinforce skills that are learned at school and provide students with additional practice at home. Homework is usually tedious, usually takes up a lot of time, and a lot of the skills required for children to complete traditional homework are skills that the kindergartners do not yet have. For example, the ability to read on their own, the ability to focus on a task independently, and the ability and the attention span to stay persistent in completing that task. Now, in kindergarten, at home practice is something that we promote a lot. Therefore, every once in a while, you will be receiving a package or an assignment that the children may complete. I will show you what the package looks like. So this weekend, you received a package that looks something like this. In the package, there was a Play-Doh mat and a few tracing pages with your child's name. The skill here that we're trying to achieve, the skill here that we're trying to practice is being able to completely and fully write the child's name by the end of the weekend. Now, the difference between homework and at-home practice is that homework, when it is returned and submitted to school, is usually checked and assessed by the teacher. Whereas at-home practice is something that stays at home, can be practiced as often as the child would like, and is something that can continuously be of use to you. Now, today I would like to show you what completing this practice might look like. A task like this requires a lot of focus on the part of the kindergartners. So I often encourage them to use markers because markers are fun, to start tracing their names. At school this week, we practiced writing our name multiple times using a variety of writing tools. We used markers, we used pencil crayons, pencils, and crayons. The children have also been sent home with Play-Doh this weekend. Now, I recognize that a lot of people don't like Play-Doh because Play-Doh can get very messy. However, at school, we learned the proper usage of Play-Doh, and I am glad to say we haven't had any major incidents. People have always returned the Play-Dohs back into the vials, so I think that they're ready to do this at home. Firstly, they'll start off by opening the Play-Doh container. It's a little hard, they'll need your assistance for this. They've also learned how to put the Play-Doh back in the container so that it doesn't stick. This is a new vial, and your kids all have new vials, so it'll be a little tricky to get it out, but they're all capable of doing that. Okay, once the Play-Doh is fully extracted from the container, it is time for us to start writing the names. The way I've taught the children how to write their names using Play-Doh is by tearing off a little piece, and rolling it into a snake. So in order to roll it into a snake, you take your little piece, place it in the palm of your hand, and just roll it, applying some pressure to the sides of the Play-Doh so that it stretches out the snake. What I've done is I've created a long snake that I've ripped into smaller pieces in order to appropriately place the snake into the shapes of the letters to make the name. Now, Play-Doh is infinitely beneficial because it provides students with the opportunity to practice improving their fine motor skills, as well as improving their dexterity. So that's the usage of their hands. There's also lots of benefits to using Play-Doh because it helps to foster imagination in children. And as we are doing right now, it helps to improve their early literacy skills by making letters. And in the same way, it could help improve their early numeracy skills because it can be used in a various amount of ways. So Play-Doh is quite versatile. I've explained to the students that once they're done with their Play-Doh, they need to make sure that everything goes back exactly as they found it, and to make sure that they are always seated. They do not walk around with Play-Doh. and they do not eat on it. They do not stick it in anyone's hair, and they have to make sure that they respect the Play-Doh, therefore putting it back in the container and sealing the lid appropriately. So here I made the name, and that's it. It's supposed to fit on the shape properly. It might require a little more pressing, but that's okay. The whole point of this is to ensure that students have a general understanding of the letters in their name and how the letters are formed. At the bottom of the letter page, you'll find a space where the children may write their names on their own using a dry erase marker. So that's whiteboard markers. If you have those at home, that's great. You could use it right here so that the children may write. If not, that's okay too. You could use your finger. The children may use their fingers as well to practice writing their names. When it is time to clean up the Play-Doh, it is best to make a giant ball. So crush everything back into a ball. Roll it, roll it, roll it. The students like to call it a potato because it's more cylindrical. But here, this is not really a cylinder. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope that this was informative, and I hope that it answered a few questions that you might have about your child's kindergarten experience. If you have any questions, any concerns, any comments, anything, please feel free to send me an email, feel free to comment on this video, or feel free to just speak to me in person when you see me. I hope you have a great weekend, inshallah, and I'll see you soon.